Hey everybody, it's Heiden here, and I'm back with the Thanksgiving special. Today's Thanksgiving in the United States. This is the Lodrik versus Heiden campaign, Scenario 1. We're now in March of 1942, March 1st. For this turn, I'm looking forward to getting more of my ships out of the line of fire in New Zealand. I've got some aircraft I'm going to put up to hopefully disrupt his ships there. We're continuing our retreat from Sion. I don't anticipate any issues with that. We should get into our new spots without any problems. And then hopefully my bombers in Burma do something at night and we don't have any weird stuff going on with Lodrik's carriers in the Bay of Bengal. Let's find out what it all happens. Okay, welcome to the Lodrik campaign, March 1st, 1942. Let's see what happens. Grabs another base on Mindanao every day, and we grab a base. Look at that. We're back in Thailand. Finally on the offensive again. Hopefully, the nightmare that is New Zealand is not so bad for us today. Jeez. It's not good. He's everywhere right now. Oh, hey, we get in! What? Oh. Well, I kind of figured that he'd be doing a night raid on Rangoons. Sure enough, here it is. You know, Lodrik has opened the Pandora's box of night bombing. All right, so 4 P-38s are damaged on the ground, and now here we go. My bombers never find the target, but his can hit me at night all the time. So, there we go. There's the... man. The night bombers are going to just rip me up, man. I can't afford to be losing these kind of aircraft on the ground. I don't understand why my bombers can't attack at night. There's more, I'm sure. Look at that. We are just losing aircraft left and right here. Why are my bombers not doing this? I don't understand it. Man, he's really tearing us up here. Look at these losses. These are not... This is really bad. Look at the amount of aircraft we're just getting damaged on the ground here. We do get one now, but it's hardly worth the trade. Again, my bombers don't do anything. That's not good for that ship near New Zealand. Yeah, it's done. That ship's gonna sink. There it goes. Man, there were troops aboard that. Oh, now he's landing at Efate now. Are you kidding me? Oh. Man. Now he's... I wanted that base. I can't believe it. He's pushing closer to Noumea. That's what he's doing. Ooh. Pago Pago. Oh my god, that'd be so bad. This is not good. How is he... I don't understand how he's getting into these places. Alright. So he's still sweeping over Cagayan. We're not there anymore. Look at that, 31 zeros. We're not taking that bait, man. Okay, so it looks like the severe storms over Changsha might be breaking up his air attacks. So these are just escorts here. So a fighter sweep. More fighter sweep coming in over Cagayan. Okay. Oh, now he's attacking it. Okay. So I've been wondering where these guys would kind of be coming in at, but so these Betties are now attacking us here at Cagayan. I think he's trying to get us ready for an assault. Okay, more sweep with Terracan. I bet you he's gonna try to drop more paratroops in here. He's sweeping to make sure we don't have fighters up. Look at this. Alright, so now he's throwing a bunch of bombers north of Sion, trying to slow down these troops here. Look at those losses. Man. We're in clear terrain there, too. Alright, now he's back to Changsha, daytime bombing. And he's catching our aircraft on the ground. We're back to this vicious cycle at Changsha of the bombing. 56 Oscars sweeping. 56. And these bombers get to come into Sion here completely unmolested. And these losses are just terrible. Just unchecked, because I don't have the fighters to spend on this right now. It's non-stop. Another bombing raid at Changsha. And he's just destroying our aircraft. Oh, this is so bad. Oh, come on. Where did these guys come from? This is a whole nother carrier unit here. Man, these guys are unloading at Pago Pago, man. We're going to lose all these guys. Come on, guys. Maneuver. Maneuver. Do something here. Everywhere, man. I can't get away from him. Everywhere I go, he's just there. 18 Kates. 18. For what carrier? God. Was that just? Oh, that was just the AM phase. Oh man. Ah, man, now we have submarines, too, on top of everything else. And now look at that. Look at that. He's got subs back at Colombo. He's everywhere right now. Tavoy. What's that? Useless. Useless bombers, man. Useless. Golly. But I didn't have. Look at all these fighters he's bringing. Like, what is he trying to sweep for? This is crazy. Like, where's Lodrik getting all this stuff all of a sudden? It's crazy. Man, I don't know. I'm just like overwhelmed right now. He's everywhere. Oh, please. Oh, are you kidding me? These guys are done. Oh, wait, we got through? We got through. Oh, come on. Come on, guys. Let's do something here. Come on, come on, come on. Let's get a hit here. Completely ineffective. I just 13 bombers and not a single hit. Literally, we're attacking at 2,000 feet. How do you even miss? How do you even miss that? Shokaku and Zuikaku fighter units. All right, so that's bizarre. So we know he's got the Hiryu here, but he's got Shokaku and Zuikaku aircraft operating off of it. This is really bizarre. Guys, don't even go in there. Oh, these guys are done. I don't see these guys getting through. Here, let's just get through it. We'll be lucky if any of these make it at all. Nope. They're all destroyed. Every single one of them are destroyed. He's just operating he's operating his ships close to land here, and he's got cap over them, and he's just luring out our aircraft. We can't take that fight. This is a crappy turn. Entire flight of B-26 is annihilated. Well, there he is. He's coming in Tarakan. I told you that he would. There's two. So we shot down two. Man. What is that? Something just sank. It's a weird sound. Alright. Well, now he's got this sub at Railway Island, too. That ship is gonna sink. Look, I ate low on gun ammo. Yep, there's another one down. Now he's landing at this island. Masbate? This is a crappy turn. Ugh. Shock attack. How did it even get there? Shock attack? Oh, no. Oh, he crossed the river. Oh, this is going to be a blowout. Oh, this is bad. That's really bad. I needed those troops to be alive. Uh-oh. We're in trouble now. Look at that. Look at these losses. This is really bad for us. I needed these troops intact to keep this defense up, and he just annihilated them before they could get into position. Yeah, this is no good. 3,000 AV with lots of tanks. He just ran us over. Look at this. Well, this now seriously compromises our defense of Lanchow, because we just lost almost all the troops that I needed to do it. Are gone. All right, here's this attack on Cagayan. We should be nope. we got annihilated here too. It's just we couldn't get out in time. Look at these losses. Isn't this ridiculous? When you retreat, your guys just like up and die. They just fall over and die because they have to fall back. But they attacked, and our guys just like die and run. I hate this retreat mechanic in this game, where you're punished like this, where your units just disintegrate when you retreat. Another shock attack at Tarakan. This looks very much reinforced now. This might be enough. Oh man, we barely held. We barely held, but we took more losses. Yeah, Tarakan It's not looking good, guys. I think we're not going to be able to hold this much longer. This turn is garbage. Alright, he's going to take this space. It's undefended. Man. Here with the daily royal trash. Now they're really getting to us. See that? 11 squads destroyed. We're near the end of the endurance on this unit now. We held out, but it's just a matter of time. We're down to the wire here. These ones look like they have a little more life left in them. Yeah. This unit's got a little more time left than this one does, but not much. Wow, what a crappy turn. Literally nothing good happened for me this turn. Man, it's turns like this that really take the wind out of your sails. Nothing good happened. Like, I can't think of any positive spin to make out of this turn. Big defeat in China. B-26 is massacred. Literally no bomb hits. He gets to bomb. I guess some new units coming in, but I'm sure they're going to have, like, no aircraft in them. Wait, these are just transfers. Never mind. Oh, man. That was gross. Let's... Ugh. All right. So, we're now in March 2nd, and we've got big problems in the Pacific. Again. A lot of stuff going on here. Let's go ahead and start going through our numbers like we always do. So, looking at aircraft losses for this turn. Not a good day for us. We lose 12, he loses 9. Here's the breakdown. 6 B-26 Marauders, irreplaceable aircraft for me, shot down, wasted in a failed attack. He loses 2 Oscars. We lose 2 PBY-4 Catalinas, which are also irreplaceable. We're running out of these quick. We also lose 2 Wildcats on the ground. This is all at Rangoon. He also loses a couple assorted aircraft here. You can take a look. Another PBY-5 gone. I don't know. Just not a good day. 12-9. Looking at the pilots' losses turn, 4 MIA and 3 KIA. So these are basically written off as lost. So of the 9 aircraft that we, of the 12 aircraft that we lost this turn, 7 of these pilots are basically gone forever. And that's kind of a big hit. We'll look at the pilot replacements here. We'll see what we got wounded, if anything. So we do have a lot of wounded pilots coming back in March. All right. Jernstedt. Let's transfer. Oh, nope. Let's send him back to the reserve. Let's see if we get him a return date. Jernstedt. Yep, he's coming back. All right. So, taking a look at all these wounded pilots here in the reserve now, still quite a few of these from last month do not have a return date. Some do, in March of 1942, which is this month. We're still going to keep an eye on Tanner B. There he is. No return date yet, but we'll keep watching it. I'm going to keep giving it more time. I was having a discussion with somebody in the comments the other day, and they said, like, what's the problem with just letting them sit in the reserve wounded for a while? They may take a few months to come back. And I was like, well, I guess it's right. The only thing I'm really doing by retiring a pilot is just decluttering my list, but they're not hurting anything being here. So I'm going to give this more time and see if any of these guys come back. So we'll see. Tanner B is the guy that I keep looking at every day because just I picked the name and I wrote it down, and that's what I'm going to focus on. But if I start seeing more return dates with later months and stuff, that could mean that even wounded pilots that have no return date now come back later on. So I'm going to keep watching this. I'm going to leave them wounded for a while before I retire them. It does me no good to... I mean, I get no benefit out of retiring them other than, like I said, decluttering the list. Army lost points. We had a really bad day on the ground today. Really bad. This shot up quite a bit. So we'll talk about why later on. His points went up just a tad, but not nearly as much as ours. Allied ship sunk. Again, not a great day because we lost a bunch of ships here. Pago Pago. This ship sank with troops aboard. We kind of knew that it would, near New Zealand. And this guy was ambushed by a sub at Raoul Island. Wasn't overly important ship, but it still sucks to lose a ship. So, of course, he loses none. So 316 to 77 right now. So get a nice glimpse at the overall score. He is now in the lead by 5,400 points. Okay. Let's take a look at the SIGINT. Scroll through this here. See if there's anything noteworthy. Roy Namur. So, interesting. Look at this. He's moving infantry to Singapore. Why? Why is he moving infantry to Singapore now? This is interesting here. Moving to Singapore. These guys are moving to Canton. He's moving infantry to Canton. For what? Radio transmissions at Iloilo. Okay. Alright. Let's take a quick look at a couple things. So, apparently he's moving infantry to Canton on an AK. I wonder why that is. It could be the signal of some sort of offensive that he's planning in the southern part of China. So, our SIGINT says he's moving infantry here, an infantry regiment. So, they could go this way or go this way. It's something to keep an eye on, that maybe he's looking at some sort of attack down here. So, we'll keep an eye on this for sure. We've got some AV blocking this road here on really good terrain. And obviously here are our troops that retreated from Kukong, and they're very strong. We have lots of these guys here, so... You know, and they're looking okay. Got some decent morale. XP's gone up. Build some forts out in the field. So they're fine there. Some heavy radio track at Surabaya and also at Truk. So that's something else to keep an eye on. Alright, and it's saying that he's moving infantry... Oh! I know what he's moving. He's moving divisions that were probably in Java back to Singapore. That's what it is. Okay, I wasn't sure what I was reading there for a minute. It mentioned... Let's take a look here. The 16th and the 38th divisions, if I recall correctly, these were both used on Java. So he's probably, like, since he's done on Java, he has nothing left to take. He's packing them up and he's shipping them back to Surabaya, Singapore, and he'll probably rail them at some point once he breaks through here. He can rail them potentially up this way. Maybe this is finally a signal that he's going to start moving in Thailand and in Burma. I don't know. But he's moving to Singapore, and why else would you move infantry divisions to Singapore if you were not going to use them here? Or somewhere in this area of operations, right? Alright. I've already reviewed the combat report. There was nothing noteworthy in here that we didn't already see during the replay. Now we'll take a look at the operations report. So we did grab Rahang in Thailand. It's the second time we've captured that this campaign. There's the Alcoa pennant that sank near New Zealand. We are starting to sight a lot of submarines near Colombo again. So we know that the sub that attacked us at Rhode Island has a spotter plane on it. That's out there in the South Pacific in between basically Pago Pago and New Zealand. Looks like we did hit a sub. My guess is that, okay, this sub here was attacked near Colombo on Ceylon. We hit it, but who knows how hard. If we even did it all. So it looks like he did drop more troops into Tarakan this turn. We took out a couple of the transports, but since we no longer have cap up there, it's not safe for us. He was able to land more troops, and he's getting to the point now where he may start having enough to take it. Given that he had a good, strong bombardment a couple turns ago, and now he's got more troops there, he's going to start winning that engagement. He's just doing it the hard way. All right. So we have a couple bases that went up. So Hyderabad went to size 4, Albany 4, Cooktown size 4. That's all good stuff for us. Unfortunately, though, we do see this, though. Rabaul is now expanded to airfield size 7. That's not so good. Size 5 is the golden, that's the gold standard that you want to get to when you're expanding your airfields, because then you can operate your heavy bombers with no restrictions. But size 7 just gives them more capacity. All right, let's see here. Couple destroyers came back into service at Sydney, upgraded. That's great. And it looks like we got a new field artillery battalion at San Francisco. Possibly another observation squadron, which is this is a recon unit. We'll take a look at this recon unit real quick. I'm curious what that is. All right, these are new. These are all new here. So another recon squadron that we don't need. That's great. I have so many recon squadrons, I don't have even a use for them because the aircraft that they're operating are no good. But what we can do is give these guys more aircraft to operate, right? Look, we'll switch these guys into steermen so we have enough aircraft to actually have them training, right? There you go. So now these guys are going to have plenty of aircraft. We'll have them training recon. So we have plenty of recon pilots, but we have no good aircraft to put them in, so it is what it is, I guess. And then we'll go ahead and top these guys off with some pilots here. Let's see if we have anything in the reserve that's any good. Oh yeah, some of these pilots down here that are good but could be better, we'll definitely throw them in there. So I'm going to go least skilled. And then we'll just use this squadron to refine them the rest of the way. There we go. So now it has 13 pilots, 13 aircraft. They'll start training. I'm also going to transfer these guys to Eastern USA, which is my main training operation. There's no good reason to keep them here at San Francisco. They train faster off map, so we'll just leave them here to train on their little Stearman biplanes. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about this turn because it was not good. Overall, I would call this a bad turn for us in many different ways. While there was nothing like campaign ending that happened, there was a bunch of little things that happened that are adding up to just be big problems. So let's talk about some of those right now. The first thing that I want to discuss is this big land battle that went completely pear-shaped for us. We were in the process of retreating to our new positions, but he came across the river here, and let me see if I can. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, see this purple? That indicates a river crossing. So he came across the river, and it was a shock attack, and it was a very powerful shock attack because he had tanks, he had everything, and we had nothing but infantry. And if you look at the terrain, it was clear. So we got absolutely massacred here. Let me see if I can find the combat report from it. right here. This was just an absolute complete blowout. This is bad. I need all this assault value. I need all these troops in those upper hexes, right? But when you lose more than half of them on the way, that's a big defeat for me. So he's taken out 1,000 AV or more of combat value permanently destroyed in an attack that I could not prevent on clear terrain. It was literally the worst possible situation for us. You name it, it was bad. And now I lost a lot of troops that I'm not going to get back anytime soon. And it weakens my positions north of Xi'an. Right? We got 3,000 here and we got 1,700 here, but we lost 1,000 here. So it just really compromises us in our future defense plans, because we know he's got about 4,000 assault value equivalent here at Xi'an. And I don't know what more I can say about it. It was just a big defeat for us. And it weakens us before we had a chance to fight on terrain that we wanted. Also, Lodrik is back to his crappy, yucky, silly night bombing at Changsha. Oh, correction. It wasn't night bombing. He's doing daytime bombing. I have all these aircraft flying nighttime, so I'm constantly going to be playing cat and mouse with him. I can't defend during the daytime because he has too many fighters, and at nighttime he's not going to attack at night because he knows that we have fighters here. So he's just going to bomb us during the daytime, take out my aircraft on the ground, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. All right, and as soon as I pull my aircraft out of Changsha so they don't get bombed on the ground, he's just going to switch to night bombing, daytime bombing, any kind of bombing, and he's going to start demolishing the base again. And there's nothing I can do about it because I don't have enough fighters to constantly bounce around back and forth between Rangoon and Changsha. So I got to pick somewhere to defend right now because that's just what I have for resources. But wherever we're not at is where he's going to be attacking, and we're just going to take losses, and it's unavoidable. Other than that, other than the big defeat in Xi'an, the ground situation is mostly stabilized in China for the moment. All right, taking a look at Burma, Lodrik. I don't understand what I have to do here. My bombers, when I send them on night attacks, constantly get lost and do not find the target ever. When Lodrik sends his night bombers, they always hit. I don't know what else to do as the allied player to make my night bombers attack. They don't. They get lost. I have tried for 3 turns to get my bombers to attack Bangkok at night, and every single time they stray from target and they get lost. Is it a matter of experience? Is that what it is? Or what is it? These are my B-17 pilots, right? The ones that are flying night operations. They have decent experience, okay? But they can't find the target. But the Japanese pilots can. Someone please explain to me why the Allied pilots cannot night bomb, but the Japanese ones can with impunity. So once again, Lodrik switched to his bullcrap stuff. Well, okay, let me take that back. It's not bullcrap because I'm trying to do it too. I'm just frustrated. Lodrik's not doing anything wrong. He used night bombing attacks on Rangoon and destroyed a lot of aircraft on the ground. My bombers can never find the target. I don't know what else to do, you know? So I'll have to put some fighters on night cap. Hopefully they can try to slow him down. But I'm sure he knows that I'm going to do it, so he won't send the bombers at night now. Right? We're always playing cat and mouse, and I feel like more often than not, Lodrik is one step ahead of me. And he is, because the attacker always has the initiative, and the defender always has the initiative deficit, because you don't know when and how your attacker is going to attack you. Something interesting that I noted here is that the Kido Butai, which was over here last turn, has moved into Tavoy. Here they are. So he's got a bunch of... he's got his entire carrier fleet at Tavoy, presumably to defend some sort of landing here. This says that he's got a battle cruiser and a bunch of light cruisers, but I don't believe that. I think this is actually perhaps an invasion fleet or a landing fleet. He may be landing troops here at Tavoy, and he's using the Kido Butai to cover it. Maybe this is the signal of a start of an invasion into Burma and Thailand, and he's going to use Tavoy as a stepping off point. Quite honestly, I don't really understand it, because to me it would make more sense to ship your troops into Bangkok, right, and rail them up to Pisanukolokole, and then just come this way, right? It's safer that way because he is exposed on this side. Granted, I'm not going to attack him because I don't think it's safe to do it, but I mean, this seems about the wrong way to go about doing this. But my estimate here is that this is what he's trying to do. He's landing troops at Tavoy. He's using Keto Butai to cover it, and he's going to head up this way. So we'll keep an eye on this situation, but I do believe that's what's going on here. All right. Other than that, the only other thing that I see going on right now is renewed submarine activity near Ceylon. And we have our ASW aircraft back up and running just to keep that suppressed. I did go ahead and start moving a lot of my naval assets up towards Bombay for the time being because I wasn't entirely sure what the purpose of the Keto Butai being here was. So now that I kind of know that that's not... he's not trying to go out to Ceylon and bomb my carriers, I'll probably go ahead and... well, I'll stay up here for a little bit, get everything patched up, and then once I'm able to get more fighters back into Colombo for Cap, I will relocate everything back to Colombo. Right now, we're a little light on Cap fighters at Colombo because I moved a lot of them over to Rangoon to cover that while my fighters were busy in China. But these fighters are making their way back into Rangoon now. So once I have all the Hurricanes and the AVG guys and my P-38s back in Rangoon, I can start moving these carrier aircraft back to Colombo to cover the carriers that are in port because I don't want them bombed and destroyed in port without adequate protection. Okay, so in Malaya, it does appear that the 22nd Brigade is really starting to crack now. We're taking losses finally. He's not just disabling squads, he's killing squads. We're out of supply. We're disrupted, we're fatigued. This unit is going to crack any day now, and then that rail line will be opened up. This unit is doing a little bit better, but not by much. So this 12th Brigade doesn't have too much longer to live, but they're doing better than the guys over here. So this 22nd Brigade is about done, and once that unit is destroyed, this rail line will be opened again to Singapore, and he can start shipping anything he wants up and down this peninsula. Still no activity at Palembang, but we are finally able to start flying some more of these aircraft out of here. So what I'm going to do here is relocate this unit back to Kopang on Timor. And the same with this one. That's kind of where my new seaplane base is at. That's kind of the last line of defense over here on the southern end of the Dutch East Indies. And I need to start thinking about a way to reinforce this place because I do want to keep something on Timor. I think I want to find a way to get some troops into here. I'll think about it and what the best way to do that is because I want this to be like our last bastion before he starts thinking about Darwin. So looking over here, we had a major defeat at Cagayan. Our killers of Cagayan lost about half their strength and were completely defeated. But because I opened up this hex side at a previous turn, we were able to at least retreat into Malaybalay, and now we have a little bit of safety. So we're here now. We got the supply we need. And we got these troops here. They're battered and beaten, but you know they'll slowly start recovering. And at least for the time being, we'll be able to exist on Malaybalay safely. And I also noticed that he finally moved some sort of aircraft into Cagayan. I would assume they're fighters, just to provide some sort of fighter cover, but I'm not certain. But he is slowly packing things up here on Mindanao, and we only have six bases left on the island, and that's more or less it. He's slowly coming together to take these bases on Panay, Samar, Leyte. The units that are here are not particularly strong, and they don't have any supply. So at some point, he will take all of this, and he'll own all of the Philippines, and that'll be the end of it. Dutch East Indies are currently quiet, but that could change from any minute. Ternate's looking ripe for some sort of activity next turn. We'll consider that. He's on Flores, and he's going to start walking down this way. We don't see any ships, though, interestingly. And it's not due to a lack of naval search, so he pulled the ships out. I don't know where they went, but they're gone for now. Also, here we have a large task force moving apparently southeast, which is down this way. I'm guessing he's going to try to go down the Makassar Strait, but who knows? He did attack us at Tarakan again last turn, and it was a good attack for him. We are still getting our aircraft out, so we have 3 more aircraft that we can move out now. So we'll send these guys to Kendari. Everything to Kendari. These guys Kendari. So we only have 1 aircraft left in Tarakan, and then we're in the clear. And I give Tarakan maybe a week or so before it's finished. And then that'll be it. Okay. Continuing on to Australia, everything looks good in Darwin. Everything looks good in Perth. Just unloading some fuel. Like, that's actually more or less done. Everything's fine down here. No activity along the coast. All the way until you get to Cooktown, where we do have 2 Japanese subs that are operating here and give me all kinds of trouble because he's kind of figured out our routing for our ships. So I have to get this tanker through here. Hopefully we can shoot this gap and get back to Townsville. But the nice thing is at Port Moresby, we now have tons of fuel and tons of supplies. So Port Moresby is a fully operable base. And we're working on expanding the airfield even further. So Lodrik really screwed up by letting us have Port Moresby, but now it's a little too late for him to take it. But let's talk about the fun stuff now. We'll start here. Lodrik just landed it at Afate, and next turn he will take it. And this is my concern now. The Dolphin is damaged and still in the process of trying to get underway, but due to its system damage being so high, I am concerned that when he takes Afate, that this ship may be destroyed. I don't know. I would love it to just be disbanded and able to move out like I did with the S-27. S-27 is currently over here getting some emergency repairs. Just trying to get some of that damage patched up. I want it a little bit lower before I send it back. I don't know if the Dolphin's going to make it, though, with him landing at Afate. And he's slowly inching his way down. I was really considering trying to, like, move some troops in here. But it's too late now. So Tana is the only other option I got before it's too late. And he's just working his way down Espiritu Santo, New Hebrides. I don't know if he's eyeing Noumea next or what, but he's coming down this way. We had another defeat in the air last turn at New Zealand. This is his, where's it at? I don't know what's what here at this point. I'm not seeing the battleships anymore. This could be them here. Or this could be those 2 destroyers. This could be the destroyers that got away. I was hoping they wouldn't, but it looks like they might. He's taunting me right now. He's leaving these guys here to bait out my aircraft to attack these. And over here he's got his fighters. We lost 6 Marauders, B-26s last turn, on a failed attack on his Congo. Infuriatingly, not a single bomber got a single hit, even though they have high training skills and low naval bombing. None of them made it through. And the second wave that came in was slaughtered by the fighters flying long-range cap over the ships that were here. So I am no longer going to be sending my aircraft unescorted this way. It's just not worth losing them. The B-24s are not replaceable right now for me. So I'm going to leave them here just to do point defense, like close in, and hope for the best. Fortunately, it does appear that Lodrik is moving further north, which has allowed us to get all these ships in, and I just disbanded them in port just to get them off the map. They're safer in the port, right? He can't go in and his task force can't engage these guys if they're inside the port. And then here, these guys that somehow miraculously survived the Congo managed to get into port. Unfortunately, a couple of ships are on fire and getting worse. I'm hoping them being in port now and docked will help fight these fires. And we're going to start unloading all these troops as soon as possible. We need to get these guys off before the ships sink. But yeah, 2 of these ships are on fire. And it's questionable, at least this one, if it's going to make it or not. I really hope it does. But we landed these troops, and more importantly, we landed 3 squadrons of P-39s and P-400s, more or less the same thing. So that's something big. Now we have another 70 some odd fighters on the islands of New Zealand, which can be used for defense. Apparently, the new battle lines have been drawn at New Zealand, and I'm going to have to reinforce this. I never thought I didn't think we'd ever get past New Caledonia, but Lodrik is operating this far south, and we have to be very careful now. I've rerouted all my convoys about as south as I can, so they're going to be coming in this way into Wellington, okay? And then we're just going to land troops at Wellington and rail them up to Auckland, up into other places that we need, and we're just going to start dumping all the troops that I've already got at sea at New Zealand because it's no longer safe to go anywhere else. All right? Speaking of which, here we go. Pago Pago is now a new front line. And by the skin of our chinny chin chins did we survive this one. So Lodrik did his Death Star move, his full speed crap. Last turn, this carrier task force was more or less over here. And take a look at this. 18 hexes, right? Well, that's the top speed of a carrier task force going at full speed. So he moved 18 hexes or so over to here. And he used B5N2 Kates to attack this task force, which I have since disbanded in port. We lost an AVD, which was unfortunate, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad, because we were able to unload an entire squadron of B-17Es, and if we had lost that, I would have been so upset. And also some transport planes. So we did get the aircraft off. We lost 1 escort ship, and what I've done is I've disbanded the ships in port, because now he's going to have to do a port strike if he wants to attack them. And my guess is that he has at least some of these Kates set up for naval strike. And naval strike has to target a formed up task force at sea, not one in here. So he's going to have to come in here and attack the port to take any more ships out. And I know for a fact he doesn't have that many aircraft in this task force, so the risk is low that we're going to lose any more ships here. They may be damaged, but I doubt they're going to sink. I don't think, anyway. So we should be safe for now at Pago Pago, but the front lines have been redrawn. Let's take a look at the big map here. So I honestly did not think Lodrik would penetrate this far south in this campaign, given what he's done already. He's been operating kind of within the safety of this area here. But he's decided to go ahead and push now all the way down into New Zealand area. And I had my convoys running through this way thinking that they were safe, and they're no longer safe. So any further convoys I have are going to have to go really far south, which adds a couple weeks to their journey time. I'm going to have to dump them off in New Zealand or go all the way around New Zealand and try to come around the backside into Melbourne around Tasmania, just to be safe, because Lodrik has shown now that he can push this far south. And to me, that's a big deal. That's a huge problem. And I don't have the ships in place. I don't have any carriers. I don't have anything that can adequately protect my convoys from heavy surface raiders or these light carrier forces. I feel like in this campaign at this point, Lodrik has been far more effective with light forces than he has been with the big stuff. The big Kido Butai formations have not been that effective, at least over the last couple months. Now, his detached cruiser task forces, these single carriers with just 1 squadron of bombers on them, have been doing a lot more damage to me, I feel. And this this turn was a bunch of pinpricks, but they added up into like my arm getting cut off, I feel like. And these losses were bad. I'm not happy about it. And I don't really have a good answer for it anytime soon. So we're just going to have to endure it. My plan right now in the South Pacific is to mitigate damage. I have no offensive capability at all. We're going to mitigate the damage, and that's all we can do. Now, over here in India is another story, right? I feel like I'm trying to get strong here so we can go in the offensive in Thailand, and I want to really pressure him and push towards Bangkok at some point just to catch him off guard and make him stop going offensive everywhere. He's going to have to shift into a defensive posture if I can get more offensive minded in Thailand, because I feel like we've got the troops there now to have some limited operational success on the offensive. So that's what we're trying to do. Also in China, we're in defensive mode. In Thailand, Burma, we're on the offensive mode. South Pacific, defensive. So that's the only place that I see where we have any capability of being offensive is Thailand, Burma. So we'll keep an eye on that. The last thing I want to show you before I end this video is these cruisers are now safe. The ones that were at risk of getting annihilated are now here. I've elected to go ahead and send them directly into Sydney because I feel I want to get all these ships that are damaged repaired. I have plenty of resources in Sydney to do it, right? We got the shipyard, right? We have more surface combatants here, plenty of destroyers. I have a few light cruisers that are going to be repaired soon that I can get back into the fight. So I think that's just the plan going forward, is we're going to just recombine our heavy forces, if you want to call them that, at Sydney, and then we'll come up with another plan. Like, what do we want to do next? You know, I don't know. So I think that's it for this video. As always, I want to thank you guys for supporting me and watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a very good turn for Lodrik. Again, nothing individually that was career show-stopping, but when you add up all the little attacks that he did that were effective, it added up to be kind of a bad turn for me. So I'll pick up the pieces here. I'll do what I can to get back on track, and then we'll keep it going. So until next time, I'll catch you guys on the next video.